All right. The other two things here you'll see is a proven process and a guarantee. About half of my clients have a proven process and a guarantee, and the other half don't. So what a proven process is just showing them the way we do business. Full color, left or right, this is where we found you, and this is what we're going to do next, and after that we're going to go here, and at the very end, this is where you're going to be, your happy, smiley customer at the very end. And then this is how we're going to maintain that relationship. When you're in a sales presentation, you say, this is our proven process, and this is how we work. You're telling them a couple of things. I'm not practicing on you, and I know what I'm doing. And it gives them that comfort, to move forward. Very easy to create, but it's a very powerful document. And a guarantee just basically says something bad's going to happen to me if I don't do what I said I'm going to do for you. My guarantee is, if you don't feel like you got value for the day, then don't pay me. It's a free session, done. So every session is guaranteed because that's how strongly we believe in our services and what we do for folks. So not every business can do that because you're going to have higher overhead and things more business-wise. But even if you messed up twice a year and somebody called you on it, think about all the goodwill you're building with a strong guarantee and how much business you're getting. So something to think about when you guarantee it. So if you're not prepared to make a guarantee, you can soften it to like a pledge or a promise. But just think about what your company promise is. But that's my guarantee, and it's a pretty stout one. Okay? All right, the next question here is the 3-year picture. This is our strategic planning piece. In this process, don't really believe in going much out more than 3 years. The 10-year target is that just an energizing goal, and we don't back into the numbers, and this is what we actually plan for. So when I ask a business owner, what do you want from your business? What they tell me should kind of equal this 3-year picture. Because in 3 years with the right leadership team, there's not much you can't accomplish. With the right team, right people, right places, it can happen. And then every year, we'll go ahead and recast that 3-year picture out. So we're staying current. And then, as you can see here at the top, there's a future date, there's a revenue and a profit, and then measurable. What does it look like? It's called the 3-year picture because it's literally close your eyes and picture what it looks like. Are you in a different office? Who's sitting next to you? What's going on? How many clients do you have? What's your role within the organization? If you're not the owner in the top seat. What does it look like for you? And it's really important that you can smell it and almost taste it because the chance of making that a reality are much greater, especially when we go ahead and set up a 1-year plan right after your 3-year picture. So this is kind of the backwards planning here. So we just compartmentalize. So I have a 3-year picture, and this is where I'm going to be in 3 years. My 1-year plan, what is that going to mean? Those are the lead dominoes for me to achieve my 3-year picture. My 1-year plan is what we need to execute on. Okay, and how are we going to execute on our 1-year plan? We're going to go right to the next question, which is what are my quarterly rocks? So the discovery here that Gino has is, he's noticed this over a lot of years, and I tend to agree with him. Humans only have about 90 days worth of attention span. Some of us, even less than that, right? So in that 90-day world, we pick our heads up, we say, okay, this is what we're going to do. We put our heads down, we get to work. 90 days later, we come back up, and we do it again. Because in that 90-day world, that's how we can measure and we can decide these are the most important things, our rocks. These are the most important things for this business in the next 90 days. If we get these things done, we're in great shape. So rocks, if everybody is familiar with the term Stephen Covey, you ever seen the thing with the glass jar that represents your time, and then you try to put in the water, which is kind of everything else, and the sand of the day-to-day, the pebbles are the tasks, and the rocks are the big things. If you put it in that way, it doesn't fit. But if you reverse the order, you put the big rocks in the jar first, clunk, clunk. Then you put the pebbles in there, and then you put the sand in there, and then you put the water in there. Everything fits just fine. The point is, when you start with the big, hairy, gnarly problems that you have, and you get those done, it's energizing, it's invigorating. You're actually moving the needle at your company when you handle those big ones, versus putting them in the closet with the Scotch tape. Everyone wants to solve the easy problems, so we do it the other way. And quarter by quarter, we kind of eat up that 1-year plan, and then that 1-year plan feeds the 3-year picture. So that's how you achieve your vision, is by compartmentalizing. Okay. All right, so the last question here, the 8th question on here is, what's your issues list? What are your issues? Quite simply, issues are just problems, things that you need to fix. So first admitting that you have a problem is like the first step, right? So let's just not pretend it's not a problem. let's put it up on the issues list. Anytime something happens, yeah, let's put it on the issues list. Anytime there's a problem, I hear a problem, I put it on the issues list. Some clients have an issues list this long, some could go around this conference room, literally. Those, I mean, it depends on where your business is at, how complex it is, what scale it's at, how long you've been ignoring problems, all those things factor in, right? But the point is, during our IDS, our issue solving track, if you look in your workbook, I believe we got page 12. Let's just jump ahead of that and then we'll come right back. Okay, this is really cool. Like I said, this is one of the real weak areas that I see in businesses. So the discovery Gino had years ago was he was witnessing really, really talented leadership teams trying to solve problems. They really weren't getting it done. They weren't executing. They were discussing a lot, quite a bit. But what he found was, what was coming out of those meetings, they felt like they were being productive. When you really put the microscope on it, they weren't really getting all that done. So first thing he said, let's identify, the real issue, then let's discuss it, then let's solve it. Let's do that in 3 different compartments to make sure that we're all on the same page and we all agree. And that's how, again, you find the root issue. So we're going to get back to this a little later. I couldn't help myself. I wanted to give you a sneak peek on that because that is a really, really powerful part of this program. Okay? So those are the 8 questions on the vision component. The second one here, second tool or bullet point on the vision component is that it's shared by all, SBA. So if you have 14 people at your company, all 14 know the core values. They know all 8 questions. They know all the stuff we just went over. So how many employees at the average company know that kind of stuff about the business? Okay, who employs millennials in here? Okay, right, millennials really want to know what they're doing in conjunction to the bigger goal. If they don't know what their goal is, they don't care. They're going to go find their meaning somewhere else. They are not Generation Xers, they're not baby boomers. It's not to show up to work at the time clock. They will be on Amazon.com surfing for snowboards all day instead of making it work for you if they don't get that. So this is very important for the modern day employee, that it's shared and they know what that is. Okay, second key component is the people component. Okay, we got 2 things here, right people, and the second thing is the right seat. So let's talk about right people. All right, so remember those 3 core values you guys put together? Go ahead and plug those right in here on the people analyzer. That should be page 7. All right, so you see where it says name? Right to the right of that, there's these diagonal lines. So write those core values up there, 1, 2, and 3. I'll give you an example. Here's EOS Worldwide, our core values. Humbly confident. So that's my job, is to be confident, but not to be a jerk about it. Humbly confident. Grow or die. Right? Growing. This is me right here. I am not content. Help first. Our job is to help first. Teaching this revolutionary system that is free for anyone to use is pretty powerful. So my job is just to be an evangelist and help entrepreneurs understand the system, because this will change your life. Do the right thing. What if mom was watching? What would I do it? And then do what I say. If I tell you I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. If I tell you I'm going to give you a call, I'm going to give you a call. This is important. So this is what we reap of, us EOS implementers around the nation. Okay, so here we go. So I want you to write in your best employee and your worst employee. Let's just plug them in the name thing. Sorry for the crude terminology, best and worst, but let's just call it like it is. So go ahead and just write that in there right now. If you're a solopreneur, maybe roll back to your other business opportunities or something. The idea is just to get the light bulb to turn on here. So put your best employee in there and your worst employee. And if your worst employee is sitting next to you, I can't help you out. Kidding. All right, so once you have your core values on the top, your 3 core values on the top, and your 2 employees, once everybody's got their head up off the paper, then we'll get going. Okay. So here's how this works. And remember I told you these were like simple tools? Yeah, here we go. So let's say Sally Jones is the best. Yep, all the way, no problem there. Ooh, John Smith, yeah, John's that guy. Where's my stapler? Okay. Not humbly confident, not any of these things right here. Okay, and then we got George, kind of middle. So let me explain what this means. When you people analyze someone, a plus means that most of the time, meaning we're humans, no one's perfect, most of the time they display that core value. A plus minus means, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. A minus means most of the times they do not, okay? So, we have this thing called the bar, and the bar is different, because your definition of great might be different than your definition of great. So, some industries where you're trying to hire purple unicorns, they're hard to find. Once you find a purple unicorn, sometimes you have to do some different things. Now, in a perfect scenario, we're going to have the right person with the right core values, and they're going to have those purple unicorn skills, right? They're going to GWC their seat. But we're going to say the bar, meaning if somebody is below this bar, we're going to have a chat with them. You know, strike one, yeah, you're kind of below the bar, this is what the management team thinks. You've got 30 days to kind of correct some of these behaviors that are not in line with our company's beliefs. And we're going to meet another 30 days to see how you did. And then you give another 30 days, and if it doesn't work by then it's just, I'm liberating you to go be with your people, because it's not us. And that's okay to do that. You're actually going to do that employee a favor, by the way, because when they actually go find their people, they're going to be happy. And they're no longer going to be at the water cooler and having issues they're having in your company. So a good bar, let's say if you have 5 core values, would be like 3 pluses and 2 plus minuses. To me, so if you're going to write like, what would a decent bar be there? That's right. So if we were to do all 5 pluses, then the bar might be a little bit high if somebody's kind of on the line with some of these core values. So think about that. So the bottom line is, when you do this and you have any minuses whatsoever, it's a deal breaker. We can't have it. So we're going to give them an opportunity to change behavior. Most people don't. So this is going to shake some things up. Well, this is going to help you identify the 2 or 3 people on your team that you can't put your finger on it, but they're just not fitting. This will help you with that. Okay, so then like I said, the second part of this is right seats. And that leads us to what we call an accountability chart. Okay, so an accountability chart is basically like an org chart, if you're familiar with an organization chart, on steroids. And the belief is this. In business, there's only 3 major functions here. We have a sales and marketing function, we have an ops function, we have a finance function. Any business, any industry, you need those, right? And they're all equally important. As an ex-sales professional, I used to think that, well, sales, if we don't sell nothing else happens. Yeah, work for a high-performance sales team with poor operations or a poor financial system, and tell me that again. Everyone provides an equal value add to the company, no doubt about it. Within our process, we have this role that's called the integrator. And that title is that way. It's not king or queen or poobah or czar, president of presidents, whatever, don of dons. Nope, it's an integrator. Because what an integrator does is harmoniously executes the different functions of the business. Need a little bit more sales, need a little bit more of this, that way. Just think about harmoniously orchestrating. This is the glue. So yeah, of course, outside titles, president, COO, that kind of stuff. That's what the world sees, the outside world sees. But we're getting rid of those titles because internally, we just need to know what you do here. I don't need your title so much. Okay, and 50% of the time, organizations have this additional role that sits above the integrator. It's called a visionary. Okay, so as an entrepreneur, you are either a visionary type or you're an integrator type. That's it. You're one of the two. These 2 roles and these people couldn't be more different. And I'm going to explain, and you can see here on the page. So visionaries are the big ideas, wave their arms around a lot, talk really loud, kind of like this guy, visionary entrepreneur. That's how I'm wired, so to speak. We have these ability to lead groups of people and get people excited and come up with great ideas. But if you put a visionary in an integrator seat, you see this amazing 90-day, just amazing, followed by this horrible wreck and crash because the visionary got bored. The attention span. So you have to understand, if you're a visionary entrepreneur, you need an integrator. Because the integrator follows your wake of unfulfilled TPS reports and things like that. The details. But keep in mind that visionary has 20 ideas a month. 19 of them aren't going to go anywhere, but that one idea is what's going to propel that company to heights that they would never see without.